I made a previous video about the Smooth 5 from Zhiyun, and in it, I talked about FiLMiC Pro. And by the way, I'm using the FiLMiC Pro app for this demo. However, it doesn't connect to the gimbal yet. They are evidently working on it, and that will be released in a future update of the app. Well, it's now official. That app integration has happened, and that's what we're looking at today. All right, I'm in my studio, and I've got the Smooth 5, and I've got Grogu here as my model. And what I'm going to do today is go through my favorite features that they integrated within FiLMiC Pro connected to the Smooth 5. I'm not going over everything, and this is not a full-on tutorial. This is a look at the features that I actually use and find very useful and think you will too. The first thing you want to do is make sure you're connected. You go to Hardware, turn on Smooth 4/5, and then you'll see it. And this is done through Bluetooth. And now the gimbal is talking to the app. And the most important, and to me, the most used feature, again, for me anyway, is you can hit record from the gimbal arm. Now I'm recording a clip. And of course you can pan and tilt just like normal. And then you can stop recording. So that really helps when you're out shooting. And to me, it's really the feature I use the most, because often I run autofocus when I'm on a gimbal anyway. But of course you do have control of that too if you want. My second thing that I use a lot though, is if you hit the function button on the side of the gimbal body here, you can flip it into selfie mode. Now I don't use selfie mode a ton, but it is nice to do that without touching the screen. Along those same lines, if you hold the function button down, you'll get a control interface in the middle. So you can scroll with the wheel, and what this does is you pick your lens, and this is really helpful as well. So I can pick the telephoto, click there, and now I've jumped into a telephoto shot. Hold function button down again, and now I can scroll. You could pick selfie there if you want, or I'm going to go to ultra wide, and now I've got an ultra wide shot. And by the way, I meant to say at the beginning, this is my iPhone 11 Pro Max. And so the nice thing is this app function is backwards compatible going back several generations of phones. And by the way, instead of scrolling the wheel like this, you can also tap the wheel on the one you're selected, and then it will pick that one. But I'm gonna go back to the standard lens. Now, one feature that a lot of people like, and I use it some, but I don't use it a ton, and that's the wheel here. You can take the wheel and you can control your focus. So on wider shots, again, especially on a gimbal, I run an autofocus. But if you're doing some up close type work, maybe a product shot, or if you're doing something more intricate and you want to do a focus pull, you can do that as well. And so using the wheel is nice to have that control. Now I'm hitting the center button here to go through the different modes. And FiLMiC Pro has 3 different modes you can use. You've got full manual, you've got the reticle mode, which is the one I use the most, and then you've got full auto mode. And again, I'm just scrolling through these by clicking the center button. Full auto mode is great for run and gun style shooting, which is what I'm often doing on a gimbal. Now it's in full auto mode. Full auto mode has the larger sampling of not only the exposure, but also the focus. And you can click to the right and turn the focus off, because when it's red, it's locked, and when it's white, it's unlocked. And you can click to the left, and you can have the exposure now constantly adjusting. Or if you want to lock it, you click to the left again. And if you want to lock the focus, you click to the right. And it's the same thing if you're in reticle mode. So in reticle mode, which you can, position this wherever you want. If you click the left, you can unlock it. Click the left again, you can lock it. Same with the focus. Click to the right, you unlock it, and the right, you lock it. Now, if you spin the wheel, and that's the wheel here with my thumb, the thumb wheel, you can adjust the exposure. And this is one I use quite a bit. So now I'm adjusting the exposure, and that is actually pretty cool when you're running and gunning if you're going in more of a manual mode scenario. So you can see here that that's the ISO, the top number, and the bottom number is the shutter. And I'm spinning the wheel, and I'm adjusting that setting. And when you click out of it, those settings are locked. One other nice feature is you can just click the menu button and the FiLMiC Pro menu comes up. Now you'll have to use your hand to control those features, but it is nice to quickly pop that up. Now there are other features you can do, but for me, these are the ones that I find the most useful and that I actually find myself using. And of course, truth be told, the best one is just hitting this record button from the actual gimbal and being able to shoot with FiLMiC Pro. Super simple, but makes it very, very easy. And for me, it's the one I use most. Also included with this app update is the integration with the DJI OM5. Now, I don't use the OM5. I don't particularly like that gimbal from a filmmaking perspective. It's fine for more casual users. I prefer the OM4, or what I use is the OM4 SE. And of course, the integration works with that gimbal as well. So just know that you can use this new FiLMiC Pro integration with the OM5 as well as the Smooth 5. And by the way, one really cool thing that I do with a gimbal that doesn't have anything to do with the new app update is my Apple Watch. You can remote start it with your watch, which is pretty cool. For detailed how-to information, be sure to check the links in the description. I've put the FiLMiC Pro YouTube channel down there and their official tutorials, so be sure to check that out. Well, I'm glad FiLMiC Pro is continuing to update their app and supporting all these gimbals. It's really pretty cool if you think about it. It goes all the way back to the Osmo 2, I think, maybe even the Osmo 1. So thank you to FiLMiC Pro, and thank you guys for watching. This is Blake Calhoun, and I will see you in the next video.